This facility is top-notch facility where, I mean, we can do some life-saving, some search and rescue techniques. We can learn a lot about fire in a controlled environment.
We've had people from as far away as Tulsa County come to this training facility. We have interest from even Texas in using our facility for sun training. The lack of facilities for this type of training is just tremendous. We have 6 in Oklahoma, but other states don't have our system, so they are looking at our facility too.
This is much safer, it's much more controlled, and this building can be used over and over and over at any time. You don't have to wait for someone to donate a house or anything for you. You know, it's ready to go, so it's going to be nice.
The Ada Fire Department recently initiated the burn rooms at the new 5-story fire training facility on the Pontotoc Technology Center campus. In a way, the blaze signifies the start of a new, exciting era of learning for the area's firefighters, who will benefit from interacting with such an advanced, challenging structure.
I'm having trouble getting this to even light at all now. There it is.
The new facility represents the fruition of a long-standing desire to see Ada become a regional firefighter training center.
The general purpose of this facility is to implement state-certified training for regional firefighters. That's both paid and volunteer departments. In Pontotoc County, we have 19 volunteer fire departments.
It was in 1996 when the state of Oklahoma, through the leadership of Oklahoma State University's fire training service, they began to look at, rather than putting all of the fire training right there in Stillwater, Oklahoma, putting it out in regional sites. And they did a survey of 22 areas in Oklahoma, and this location being one of them.
They just been kind of sprinkling cones over it whenever they need to cool it off.
New employees hired on, we have been in the past sending these guys to Stillwater for approximately 2 weeks, and there they get all their basic training, they get their live fire training, and with the facility here in Ada, we can now send our new employees right here in town. It saves the city of Ada and their taxpayers a lot of money.
It's a 2-hour drive to Stillwater, and if you look at the cost of particularly volunteer fire departments sending people to Stillwater for 2 weeks of training, it's very, very expensive. And how can we reduce that cost? We can reduce that cost by having local regionalized training, and it's due to our location.
So this facility will enable them to do that training here without the incurred costs and also without having to be away from their jobs and their families.
The Ada Fire Training Facility is a little more than 4,100 square feet, features 2 burn rooms as well as a simulated attic crawl space, a simulated elevator shaft, and a confined space rescue area. Local firefighters will be able to use the facility to exercise the many skills they need in actual emergency scenarios, and other agencies might find the building useful as well.
There are a number of applications. Any company that has a confined space is required to have a team, or at least have available through OSHA standards a team or someone that's able to rescue a person from below ground from a confined space. A confined space can be anything from a tank to a manhole. So any company that has a need for training in that area, they can contact us and use this facility, use our confined space to get the required training that they need for their team.
In addition to the Ada facility, there are 4 others in the Oklahoma communities of Woodward, Enid, Lawton, and Choctaw. Another fire training facility is under construction near Durant. Local educators have big plans for Ada's facility in the future.
This is also used for doing some of the rappelling, and there's rappelling anchors that have not been added but will be added here, and there's some up there too. If you'll notice, the locations, they are regionalized and they're spread out across the state. And we meet periodically to talk about the kind of training that we're going to do at each facility. I think in the long vision, each of these facilities will have a specialized kind of training that they will do. We're kind of looking here and investigating. It's not a decision that's been made, but we're investigating that this would be the place where we could specialize in training that would involve building collapses. And that's very expensive, a lot of technology required to do that kind of training. And it's not something we're going to be doing tomorrow, but the investigation of putting together the training facility is going to be something that we're going to undertake and to try to get done.
We are required to do a number of hours of live fire training annually. And in the past, the only way we could get that training in would be to burn dilapidated buildings across the city that folks were needing to get rid of. Well, there's a lot of danger involved in that. There's a lot of liability. With the new training center, it has 2 separate burn rooms. We can do that live fire training, and it's much safer. It's a controlled environment, and we get that required training that we have to have yearly.
There are going to be some wildland firefighting courses, and that's incredibly important here because, as you know, we're in the midst of a drought, and this past winter we experienced the terrible fires in the county. Our county didn't lose any homes due to a wildfire. We did lose a home due to other reasons, but this county is in desperate need of wildland firefighting certifications, and so we're going to be offering that through the center.
The $700,000 fire training facility was funded by a $200,000 grant and $500,000 from the Pontotoc Technology Center's building fund. Local officials credit area lawmakers for obtaining the initial grant, which fanned the flames of progress. The facility is going to make a positive impact, not only on area fire training, but the local economy as a whole.
Really, this training facility will draw from probably a 10-county area around Pontotoc County. So you're bringing in hundreds of firefighters across the state to come in to Ada, and they'll be spending the night here, eating their meals here, spending lots of money here. And when they come in, they'll be staying 2, 3, 4, 5 days at a time. So it's going to be very good for the economy and very good for the fire service as a whole.